Early high school years, it dawned on me that I was reasonably good at math, reasonably good at science. The combination of the two was always of interest to me. So after a while you put two and two together and you realize that, that's what engineers do. I like the big university atmosphere and all the things that go with it. So Purdue stood out. That was going to be perfect for me. So the recommendation was, well, you need to go over to mechanical engineering. It's a much broader field. And then take a number of broad courses and figure out what you like. And it took a while to figure out what I wanted, but then somewhere around junior year in thermodynamics, the power sector, the Rankine cycle, the Brayton cycle, it just really enthused me. And one thing led to another, and that's where I ended up. The big breakthrough for me came in the late 70s, early 80s, when the United States passed a law that allowed private companies into the power industry. There was a company in Washington, D.C. called the AES Corporation. They were just getting off the ground. I think I was employee number 30. They have about 30,000 employees right now. And I spent 19 years with them. And after about halfway through those 19 years, the president asked me if we wanted to be the first officers to leave the United States, to branch out of the U.S. and go abroad. So we went off to England in 1990, and for the large part we've been there ever since. And then in 2004, the Dutch Development Bank reached out to us and said, no one is working in Africa. No one trying to help the African continent with its electricity situation. So he reached out and they said, if you can put together a company, we'll fund it. After about a year and a half, we had put together the funding necessary to start the company, and we are a power generation company focused solely on Africa. You get spoiled when you work in North America or Europe because of the laws and all of the groundwork that has been laid by others before you get there. One of the interesting things about working in Africa is that you can't assume anything. You have to start from the absolute basics, ABCs of how this all works, from a technical standpoint, a commercial standpoint, a legal standpoint, and oftentimes a political standpoint. How many times I've been in the office of the Minister of Energy in any number of different African countries with the lights going off, and you're sitting there trying to sell them a power plant. What we try to do is provide the country with what it needs in the cheapest possible way. And every country is different. There are a handful of countries in Africa where the wind resource is fabulous. The power plant, the wind farm we're building in Kenya, it'll almost look like a baseload power plant. The wind resource is so amazing. Obviously, Africa is blessed in a number of locations with more sun than you know what to do with. So obviously there's huge potential for solar, so we're working on some of that. Purdue's done so much for me, so it's great to be back. I've always thought it's a huge benefit if, as a businessman, you have a reasonably clear understanding of your product. The better managers know what their product looks like, know how it works, and then therefore know how to sell it.